what do you think happens looking at like AHL and like ECHL? I don't know, but I think there is gonna be, and maybe it's just a matter of changing the markets, but I feel like we're starting to see it.
We are.
That there's concerns that there are markets that are not financially stable. I mean, we saw it already with the Growlers and then the Montreal team that was almost in the same position as the Newfoundland Growlers, but
Mm-hmm.
somehow was bought out or they got financing to keep afloat. But what is it going to take for like, do you think the NHL has to kind of get involved? Like, because it's weird, but in a sense, the NHL is linked to these teams,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't always feel like they are,
No,
if you know what I mean.
I do.
So, like, the for certain farm teams, at least in the American Hockey League, that are farm teams for the NHL,
Mm-hmm.
there does feel a connection between the
It
Leafs and the
does.
Marlies. It feels like they are connected in a way. But
Yes.
then there's other teams, it's like, oh, that's their farm team? Didn't
Yeah.
even know that was the farm team. Like,
Right.
who are they again?
Because you look at Iowa Wild, the Henderson Silver Knights, you
Yeah,
can tell who is the affiliate.
right. And it's not even as much American League, but this ECHL.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get people to come out to those games?
Yeah.
At least in Canada. Now I get it, they go in markets where they think they can be successful. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm getting at is does the NHL and the AHL and the ECHL have to come together and like come up with a different type of marketing strategy
Mm.
on how teams in the NHL can promote the fact that, hey guys, we also have these teams. And if you're in these cities, you might want to go check out our affiliate teams in these cities because you know what? In the future, they could be playing on this team on the ice.
That's right.
I don't know, but as far as I know, Toronto Marlies had no ECHL affiliate last year. I
I
think
remember
they
that.
do now. I think they've since affiliated. Did I see they affiliated with a team in Chicago area?
Sounds familiar.
And then there's even some ECHL teams, at least there was one, who had no affiliate.
Yes.
And like, all right, so
Where do your players
where do
go?
your players go? I mean, I guess they can really go to whoever, I guess, but like I don't totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like if they don't change it a bit or market it better, there is a lost opportunity there because you could be marketing it as, hey guys, future players playing in communities closer to yours,
Mm-hmm.
come check out the ECHL, or even better, want to go and see talent that could be in the NHL tomorrow or in a week?
Yeah.
Come to an American Hockey League game because trust me, some of those guys may be in the lineup next week.
What I recently heard on
Hmm.
social media, what was also posted as podcast
Hmm.
episode, was that the UCHL,
Yep.
the ECHL,
Yes.
and the AHL,
Yes.
there's talks of what do you do with all these empty pro hockey arenas?
Exactly.
And
That's my point. That is
yes,
where I was going. Exactly.
yes, and
What?
Topeka, Kansas is one of these places that the FPHL, the Federals,
Yes, the
are
Federals.
looking to expand to,
Uh,
but you have all these pro hockey arenas that are completely empty. And so does the NHL look at this and say, "Hey guys, let's expand to this particular city or use this arena to our advantage if we already have an affiliate team or a professional hockey team?"
right. It'll be interesting because I think we're going down this road and
Hmm.
I feel like it's coming. Small market hockey.
Small market hockey.
I think it's coming.
Hmm.
I clearly see it on the radar, at least in Canada for a Canadian perspective.
Hmm.
Somebody explained to me, and now maybe it's just me, but I see a case because the World Juniors proved it can work.
Yes.
Somebody explained to me why you cannot have an NHL team
Hmm.
in Halifax or Moncton. Somebody explained that to me.
Please do.
I think you could sell it out
Oh, you could
every game,
every game.
honestly, and the fans would be ecstatic. And in the case of the US, there's cities that I could think of that you could do small market
Oh
teams
yeah.
too. Like
Maine, out in Maine.
you could have a team maybe in Maine or even a team, I'm thinking like Fargo,
Oh yeah.
Sioux Falls, or like Billings. I mean, I don't think every city is going to work because some of these cities are not close
Hmm.
to, like, they're far enough apart that it probably won't work. But in a case like Moncton or Halifax, there's enough people that can get to that kind of a place within like a 6 hour drive
Hmm.
that you can't tell me that you can't make it work. I think you really
Yes.
could.
You really could.
And if you were to look across the US, I think you could find smaller markets where you
Hmm.
could be like, yeah, an NHL franchise could thrive here. We don't have a big metropolis city, but hey, there's
Hmm.
a small city over here 2 hours away. There's a small city over here an hour and a half away, and there's
Yep.
another city over here that's 40 minutes away.
And if you were already able to relocate Atlanta to Winnipeg, who says you can't do it to Saskatchewan? Saskatchewan, because they did have the
Oh.
Atlanta Flames that moved up to Calgary, so you're kind of pushing those teams a little
Right.
more.
So, you know what? I don't know why, but I just love the name. If the NHL went to Saskatchewan,
That would be awesome.
I think you have to just go with the Regina Pats
You
as the
do.
team name.
Yes.
I don't know why. I just love that name. It just goes with Saskatchewan. I just, I love that name.
The Pats play their last season, just like how we saw the Penticton Bees play their last season in the BCHL.
Yeah, I just love that name, and I
Yeah,
think that would be a great team. But yeah,
fantastic.
you can't tell me that it can't work in small markets.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at the CFL is a prime example.
Hmm.
Do you know where they do more successful? They
Where
do
is it?
some of their best like vi views and like merchandise sales and ticket sales in places like Saskatchewan and
Mm,
Winnipeg
they do.
and
I've noticed that.
the smaller cities. Like they don't do so well in Toronto. Like the
No.
tickets are $20 a game,
Yeah.
and they don't do so hot in like these some of these other places like Vancouver, for
Vancouver.
example.
Yeah.
But like Saskatchewan, the fans love it
They
and they
love it.
sell it like every game. And
That's what they strive for, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So this whole idea that Halifax can't support a team to me is odd, and I just thought it's a matter of when, not if, because I feel like that region could support an NHL team.
Absolutely.
Being that we're on the East Coast,
Coast
what's your thoughts on the whole Bathurst Acadia Titans moving over
to
to
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland?
This
That's
is
interesting.
that is very interesting because you know what? When I first got a little bit more familiarity with the
Right,
CHL and I was exploring a little bit more of the WHL and the QMJHL, and then when the QMJHL renamed from the Major Hockey League to the Maritimes Hockey League,
right.
that's when I started to get a good familiarity of, oh, these teams are in the Maritimes. Wait a minute, Acadie-Bathurst doesn't sound very too appealing in the Maritimes if you look at a team like Moncton, Fredericton, Halifax, those cities are
Right,
going to jump out at you.
right.
Where a city in Newfoundland, I'm surprised, but I'm actually happy. I'm glad to see a team thrive in Newfoundland. But I'm curious to know how they didn't go over to Fredericton.
Yes. So I will, a lot of people will be like, you're joking, but I've been to Newfoundland a couple of times now,
Hmm.
and I've been in and around the St. John's area, but I've
Hmm.
also been out in the more rural parts.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, a lot of people think, oh, that's like a friggin' small little city. It gives like Halifax vibes. Like it's a
It
big
does.
city. It's a
It does.
metropolis on the island. Like that's their city. They've
Yeah.
got everything you could ask for there. Like they got the shopping malls, the dealerships, everything is there.
Hmm.
The restaurants. Like it literally feels like you're in Hamilton or Oshawa. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
a big place.
It's a big place.
And people always say, well, no team can work in Newfoundland. They don't really have the population. St. John's has the population,
It
and
does.
there's a lot of people on the island who do travel the island
Mm.
to get things because there is like Corner Brook and Stephenville, but they're not even what you would say is like, they're smaller, a
Okay.
smaller scale versus St. John's is like the metropolis over there in Newfoundland. So I really hope that the team over there can work out. The only thing that concerns me is travel is going to be interesting,
Yes, that will be
especially for
interesting.
teams like Naran Naranda. right?
Ah,
Because like they're just north of Ottawa, basically,
yeah.
on the Ontario border. You're telling me they're gonna go all the way out to Newfoundland to
Newfoundland.
play teams
Oof.
now? They're not driving, they're flying, I
They're flying
assume.
out.
Right? So then how do you make that work? I guess you would have to play like the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles and
Mm-hmm.
remind me again, is it the Charlottetown
Charlottetown Islanders.
Islanders? Yes. So they would probably have to hit a circuit,
Yes,
right?
before they head
Because
over.
before they come back, because like otherwise it doesn't logistically doesn't make a lot of sense. Not really,
No.
right? So from that point of view, it'll be interesting to see because I've always felt that that's been a concern in
Hmm.
the CHL. I mean, the WHL seems to have solved that,
Yeah, they
but
seem
like
to.
OHL doesn't want to go to Thunder Bay,
Yeah,
right?
because you got the big jump from the Michigan and the Windsor teams
Right, all the
all
way
the way
up
up to
there. But if
yeah.
you're going to start implementing flying in the other leagues, like they do it in the WHL already because it's a far distance to tell me that the Winnipeg,
The Brandon Wheat Kings
the
to
Brandon Wheat Kings to the Vancouver Giants or the like the teams that play out of the States there, like in the WHL.
yeah,
That's a long distance. So
that
they're
is a
flying.
long. Now, did Newfoundland already have a team in the QMJHL?
No.
No. So
Now
this is
maybe in the
their
past,
in the past.
but not in recent times.
Yes.
They had their thing was the
ECHL.
ECHL with the Growlers.
Hmm.
And then there was times when they had the farm team there for the Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal Canadiens. Yeah.
Yeah. And even at one time, the Leafs, there was some connection to the Leafs having some type of
Oh,
team out there too. Now, this could have been the Growlers, but it could also have been the farm team connection at one time.
okay.
Yeah. So, no, they haven't had a
Team.
team in the queue.
They do play basketball in that arena though.
They do, yes.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting.
So you'll have basketball and
Hockey.
hockey to
Yeah.
swap back and
Yeah.
forth. So get ready, Newfoundland. Hockey is coming your way in the fall.
Hockey is coming. One door closes on the Growlers and another door
Yes.
opens.
I did some research and they had their whole press conference and everything, and apparently it has to do with honoring the veterans of the World War.
Great way
Okay.
to honor the World War II veterans and
Yes, it
stuff. So
is.
that's a good name.